Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at those everyday English phrases that can make you feel more confident in any situation. Like the stuff you actually use in real life.
It's like a secret code to unlock smoother conversations.
Right. And to help us crack this code, we've got this really interesting ESL podcast script.
It's full of useful vocabulary for all sorts of things like greetings, shopping, even asking for directions.
It's basically like a cheat sheet for navigating the English-speaking world.
Exactly. And what I find fascinating is how these phrases, even the simplest ones, can reveal a lot about cultural trends and social norms.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
We'll take greetings, for example.
Okay, yeah. The script highlights phrases like, how's it going and what's new?
Right. And those are perfect examples. You see, these casual greetings, they actually represent a shift away from more formal expressions.
Oh, you mean like good morning or how do you do?
Exactly, that kind of thing. And this move towards informality, it reflects a bigger cultural trend, you know?
Towards what? Well, in English-speaking societies, there's a big emphasis on being friendly and approachable.
So it's not just about being polite. It's about,
creating a sense of connection, putting people at ease.
I see. So by using these phrases, you're not just saying hello, you're also kind of signaling that you're...
Yeah, that you're comfortable with this more relaxed social dynamic.
That's really interesting. And the script actually gives a great example dialogue, something like, oh,
Hey, how's it going? Not bad. How about you?
Uh,
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
oh, right.
Yeah,
And I noticed that even though it's super casual, there's still that thanks for asking.
exactly. It shows that even in informal conversations, politeness is still key.
Good point. But what about when we move beyond greetings, like, say, going shopping?
Ah, yes. Shopping. That can be tricky in any language.
Especially if you're in a new country and not quite sure how things work.
Right, but having a few key phrases can really make a difference, like the ones the script points out.
Do you have this in a different size? Can I get a receipt, please?
Exactly. It's all about feeling confident and in control, being able to communicate your needs.
And I guess using those phrases, even if they seem simple, shows the staff you're not.
You're not totally clueless, that you kind of know what you're doing.
Right. But I'm also curious about, cultural nuances.
Oh, absolutely. Cultural nuances play a huge role. For example, the script mentions a dialogue that takes place in a clothing store.
Okay, yeah. What does it say?
Well, it highlights the importance of being polite but assertive, especially when you need help.
So finding that balance
Between being respectful and getting your point across.
got it. And speaking of cultural nuances, I think dining out is full of them.
Absolutely. Ordering food, understanding the etiquette, it can be a minefield.
Yeah, for sure. But the script does offer some helpful phrases like,
Like, can I see the menu, please? Or, I'd like the bee with a side of...
right. But are there any deeper cultural insights we should be aware of beyond the specific phrases?
Oh, tons. One that comes to mind is, can we split the bill?
Okay, split the bill. So everyone pays their own share.
Right. In lots of English-speaking cultures, particularly among friends, this whole idea of going Dutch is really common.
Going Dutch, that sounds oddly specific.
It does. But it basically just means everyone pays for themselves. It's all about fairness and independence.
Huh, interesting. And the script's example dialogue, I guess
It shows how naturally that phrase fits into a casual dining setting. It
That-
really highlights how prevalent it is.
So it's not just the words themselves, it's understanding the whole context.
Exactly. The history, the social norms, it all feeds into how we communicate. But let's move on from food for a second.
Okay, sure. What else?
How about getting around, navigating a new city?
Oh, yeah, that can be tough. Getting lost, deciphering maps.
Absolutely. But the script gives us some really solid phrases for asking directions. Like,
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to...
exactly. Polite, clear, gets the point across. But what if the directions are super complicated?
Or you need more clarification.
Right. Then you got to be ready with follow-up questions.
So something like,
Could you point me in the right direction? Or, is it far from here?
that makes sense. And it shows the person you're asking that you're really trying to.
And you're genuinely trying to understand, not just expecting them to do all the work.
Right, right. It's all about respect and clear communication. And, as we're digging into these phrases,
Yeah.
I'm realizing there's often a deeper layer to them.
Totally. It's not just memorizing words, it's about understanding the whole cultural context.
Like learning the unspoken rules of the language.
You got it. That's where the real mastery comes in.
It's like this ESL script is encouraging us To not just learn the words, but like the music of English.
Oh, absolutely. Intonation pauses. Even just a slight change in tone can make all the difference.
It's like you're learning to speak English like a native speaker. You know
Right.
what I mean?
It's about those subtle cues and unspoken rules that really make your English sound natural.
I bet this could be super helpful for people who, like, they already know English pretty well.
Oh, totally. It's all about refining those conversational skills.
Like, even if you're not a beginner, there's always room for improvement.
Exactly. Maybe you want to sound more confident in meetings or just blend in better with native speakers.
It's like going from I can get by to I can really connect.
Yeah, adding that extra layer of polish to your English.
And that's when the real magic happens, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about basic communication, it's about truly connecting with others.
You know what? All this talk about practical phrases is making me want to try some out myself.
Well, the best way to learn is by doing. How about a little role play? Let's pretend we're at a cafe.
Okay, I'm game. Let's see. Excuse me, can I see a menu, please?
Of course, here you go.
Thanks. I think I'll have a cappuccino and a croissant.
Excellent choice. Anything else for you?
Actually, yes. Could I also get a glass of water, please?
Absolutely. I'll bring that right over.
See? It feels so natural. And now I suddenly want a cappuccino.
The power of language, right?
Haha, yeah. Okay, so back to our deep dive. We've covered greetings, shopping, dining, getting around. What other everyday situations do you think this script could help with?
That's a good question. It really depends on what you need, your interests.
Like, give me some examples.
Well, say you're at a party and you want to make small talk.
Oh, yeah, small talk can be tough.
Or maybe you need to introduce yourself to someone new or even just handle everyday tasks like making appointments or asking for help.
Yeah, those situations can feel so much easier if you have the right phrases ready.
It's like having a cheat sheet for life.
Oh, speaking of cheat sheets, you just used a phrase that might need some explaining.
Which one?
Cheat sheet for life. What does that actually mean?
You're right. Good point. So cheat sheet, in this context, it doesn't actually mean cheating.
Right, I figured.
It's more like a metaphor, for having a handy set of tools or tips.
So cheat sheet for life means...
It means having those key phrases and strategies that help you navigate everyday situations with more confidence.
I love that. It's like you're giving people the keys to unlock all these possibilities.
Exactly. Not just in their personal lives, but also professionally, when they're traveling.
And what I really appreciate about this script is it doesn't just like throw phrases at you.
Yeah, it gives you context, explains the nuances,
Yeah.
shows you how it all works in real conversations.
It's about equipping you to actually use the language, not just memorize it.
Right. And speaking of actually using the language, all this talk about confidence reminds me of something.
What's that?
Active listening.
Oh, right. It's not just about speaking.
Exactly. It's just as important to listen, if not more,
So it's not just waiting for your turn to talk, it's about really paying attention.
to what the other person is saying, both verbally and non-verbally.
And responding in a way that shows you get it.
You got it. And the script really encourages that by reminding us to pay attention to context.
Yeah. Not just repeating phrases like a robot.
Yeah, exactly. It's about developing an ear for the nuances of spoken English.
Like those subtle cues that can change the whole meaning.
Right. And by actively listening, you're actually improving your own communication skills too.
It's like a win-win. Okay, so we're nearing the end of our deep dive, and honestly, I'm surprised by how much we've covered.
Me too. Who knew there was so much to unpack from this one little ESL script?
It's amazing how much practical wisdom and cultural insight you can find in these everyday phrases
It really speaks to the power of language learning,
to open doors to new experiences.
and to connect with people from all over the world.
And it's not just about traveling or living abroad. These skills are valuable right here at home.
Absolutely. Think about how much we communicate online these days through emails, social media.
That's a great point. Mastering these phrases can actually make you a better communicator online, too.
Yeah, it's about being able to express yourself clearly and effectively in any situation.
It's like you're building bridges with words, breaking down those communication barriers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in our increasingly interconnected world, that's more important than ever.
And it really highlights how language can bring people together,
Yeah, it's like a common thread that connects us all.
Especially in a world that can often feel, well, pretty divided.
Exactly. Language has this amazing power to bridge those gaps and create understanding.
As we're wrapping up, I keep thinking about how language learning is a journey.
Yeah, it's definitely not about reaching some kind of perfect endpoint.
Right. It's more about embracing the process.
The ups and downs, the aha moment.
Exactly. And this ESL script, I think it captures that spirit really well.
Yeah, it encourages you to see language learning as an adventure, not a chore.
Speaking of adventures, this deep dive has been one too.
Haha, it has. Who knew we'd uncover so much from these simple everyday phrases?
Right. It just shows that there's always more to learn.
More to explore, even the things we think we already know.
And that's what makes this deep dive so cool. It's not just about acquiring knowledge.
It's about sparking that curiosity, that desire to keep learning.
So to all our listeners out there, whether you're just starting your English journey,
Or you're already fluent.
remember this. Embrace the challenge. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
And most importantly, have fun with it.
Yeah, because language is about connecting with people, sharing ideas.
It's about experiencing the world in a whole new way.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this thought. What everyday situations do you want to feel more confident in?
Think about your goals, your interests. The possibilities are endless.
So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep speaking smart.
Until next time.